Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires today. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday in a nice relaxing fashion, however that looks for you, as you join me in watching JorDan playing as the Khmer or the Khmer in blue take on DracKeN playing as the Tatars in purple. Now while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate and closed off surroundings, ooh, look at that, with geese and with pepperonis, and try to get their butts up to feudal, most likely castle age, as fast as possible. Why don't we take a look at the civs we will be watching today? Now, the Khmer, a civilization that focuses on some of the heaviest hitting units in the game. Their scorpions come with extra range and can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Their battle elephants do move faster and also can be upgraded to hit even harder with a +3 attack boost. And their unique unit, the ballista elephant, is quite possibly one of the most annoying, hardest units in the game to deal with head on, which is not surprising because it's a giant elephant with a giant ballista mounted on its back, which, by the way, just like the scorpion, can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Now, in order to take advantage of their later stage game, however you want to say it, features and bonuses and powerful units, the Khmer have to get their butts up to Castle and Imperial ASAP with a lot of food in the bank. So to help them do this, they do come... Oh, look at this. Look at this. A bit of an odd friendship here has developed in JorDan's base as a goose and a pig. Is this Napoleon? Who knows? We'll keep an eye on these two friends. This reminds me of, for a while in the TV show Friends, there was an arc where Joey and Chandler had the duck and the chick living in their apartment. I don't really know what happened to those two animals, but anyway, you're not here to watch me fanboy about a show from the 90s. Like I said, the Khmer, they need to get up to Castle Age. They need to get up to Imperial as fast as they possibly can with a significant amount of resources. So to do this, they do come with a few cool features. First, they don't need any structures to go up to the next stage. Take a look at the top right of your screen next to DracKeN's name. You see the two houses lighting up. One of them lit up already. Take a look to the left, the Khmer, they don't have that. They don't have prerequisites. As long as you've got 500 food, you can go up to feudal. As long as you've got 800, 200, you can go up to castle. And as long as you've got 1,800, you can go up to imperial. Now, second, once you hit the next age, whatever age that may be, all of the buildings, all of the structures in that age are available to you. There are no prerequisites. So if you want to build a stable in castle age, you do not need to build a barracks before that. And lastly, Khmer farmers, they do not need to bring food to a town center or a mill. As long as they're working on a farm, they collect food. It automatically gets added to the coffers 1 unit at a time, which means that JorDan can literally place a farm right here in the middle of frickin' nowhere amongst these, I'm assuming, birch? Yeah, birch trees. I used to love birch trees when I was younger. I would go around cottage country when we would go up north. That's what Canadians do. We go, quote unquote, up north to a cottage or to a lake, and I would just peel the birch off of it, because when you make a bonfire, if you throw the birch bark, it creates a lot of smoke. And as a young kid, who the hell doesn't like making a big smoky mess? Anyway, the Khmer can literally put their farms anywhere, next to birch, next to berry, next to anything, next to stone if they want to, and they can be much harder to raid because their villagers can run away and hide inside houses. And once the danger has passed, they can ungarrison and get their butts up back to work. This is a lot of villagers, 14 working on this one board. JorDan really wants to get the resources up and running so that he can get his butt up to feudal age. I kind of want to keep watching this. Okay, there's the 500 food, and immediately going up to castle age at the 6:54 minute mark of the game. Not bad at all. Finds himself housed, but not a big deal at the moment because he is going up to the next stage. There's not much that town center is going to do. An honor guard for the oinkster over here of geese. Anyway, let's take a look at the Tatars. We saw them recently, a civilization that does whatever it possibly can to push you towards mounted units. Their cav archers do come with extra line of sight. They get Parthian tactics and thumb ring for free, and some of their mounted units can be upgraded to get extra armor in an upgrade that I always screw up and call Silk Road instead of Silk Armor. Now, their first unique unit, their unique unit is the Keshik, a medium cavalry unit that actually generates gold every time it pokes and prods at an opponent, JorDan moving out. Ooh, 40 seconds away from Feudal Age. Oh my goodness, will DracKeN see this? No. If this was Feudal Age, the line of sight on the scout would have increased. He definitely would have caught wind of this move out, but for now he is completely in the dark, still thinking that there's a birch tree here. But these villagers, they have the same idea I did when I was younger. They want to make a big smoky bonfire. Anyway, the Keshik raids, guys, I am very sorry. I don't know why my introduction is going completely pear-shaped right now. JorDan hits Feudal. His opponent still a minute away. Immediately a tower goes up in archery range, so he wants to penetrate the ooey gooey center of the Tatar base. And speaking of the Tatars, like I said, the Keshik for the third and final time, a perfect raiding unit if I had to guess or surmise or opine. Why? Because in later stages of the game, when this stuff gets rare and more scarce and basically runs out, there's that 10-minute mark glitch. They generate gold every time they poke and prod. And unlike a Viking infantry unit that needs to kill a villager or a monk or a trade cart, no, the Keshik generates gold every time it actually just pokes. So they can poke, run away, get healed up, and poke yet again. Now, once they're on the field of battle, although not really applicable to Arena because there is no high ground in Arena, this is as flat as an ironing board. The Tatars do deal 50% more damage from the high ground compared to the usual 25, which is much more important once Trebs start coming out, because Tatars can upgrade their Trebs to come with, oh my goodness, I am really sorry, guys. They can upgrade their Trebs to come with a massive 19 range once you factor in Timorid Siegecraft and Siege Engineers. Looks like a nice wall off here to the back. I'm surprised that this tower didn't attack those villagers, although maybe it did. This one's a little bit injured. 37 HP on him. Now, to feed their big, hungry, cavalry-based army, Tatar herdables do contain 50% more food, so these Piggly Wigglies, these geese, are a little bit plumper than usual, and every time they build a town center, they do get 2 herdables for free, 2 sheep. So in theory, I mean, I'm assuming if we're lucky enough to get to Castle Age, DracKeN's going to plop down a second town center. That means we'll have seen pigs, geese, and sheep. I don't remember a game where we've seen 3 different types of herdables. Okay, he moves in yet again. I like this maneuver out of DracKeN. 4 villagers are being pulled off the production line, but okay, does not manage to get it beyond a certain point. 580 HP, 600, 700. Oh, he's playing with fire, is our purple Tatar, as these villagers have to get the hell out of here now, luckily without ballistics in Feudal Age. The accuracy of the tower is absolutely terrible, and so the villagers, all 4 of them, make it out alive, and it is our Tatar who is heading up to Castle Age first. Our Khmer, having spent a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of energy here, trying to bust his way into the base. And by the way, what you see before you, this is JorDan's attempt. How do I put this? JorDan's attempt to stop DracKeN from putting another wall behind this one by building a gate from the corner behind this wall. He was able to build that. And that basically means DracKeN has no way to stop what's coming unless he attacks that gate, in which case he's going to take a lot of archer fire and arrow fire, rather, from the tower. And oh my goodness, what is happening? He loses an archer. The first kill of the game goes to none other than this town center. But now the archers are here. The primary gold is being completely lamed here, and a second town center going up for our Tatar. What is happening? I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. So JorDan's busted in. He's teefing the stone, it looks like. He's plopping down a stable. And remember, back home doesn't need a barracks because he is the Khmer. And that's why we see an archery range and a stable here with nothing. DracKeN already 3 kills here, manages to get a whole bunch more. This penetration went to possibly the worst place it could have. There's nothing here. And so these archers with just +1 attack and range probably would have been better served going here. I get the instinct to want to lame your opponent's gold, but DracKeN has defended this quite well, and here we go. JorDan is not done yet. He's going to have to contend with the Scorpion, though, and that Feudal Age Archer is going to basically have no way to do that, and that's why he dies immediately. And now JorDan, he's caught out. His opponent has caught wind of the tower. He cancels the tower. Now he moves back with his villagers. So penetrate the base he did. The follow, I don't know why I'm talking like Yoda. Penetrate the base he did. Nah, JorDan's inside. And yet another glitch at the 17-minute mark of the game. Uh-oh. What's going on with Age of Empires? Another glitch. Sorry, everyone. But the question is, what now? Great, you've penetrated the base. You've laid the primary stone. Your opponent is on 2 town centers. You are still in Feudal Age. You have no resources needed to go up to castle except for the gold. And by the way, take a look at the top left while this scout distracts the Scorpion in a hilarious fashion at the food count of our Khmer, just going up a unit, up a unit, up a unit every time. Do you notice these villagers? One thing they're not doing is heading back to the town center. Now, it's interesting that he decided to place his farms around his town center. I guess it's a shorter walk, a shorter distance, but not really necessary. More of an aesthetic sort of thing. And speaking of aesthetic, you know what looks good? A 6-0 lead for your team, your civilization here. Oh, another tower. But he must have seen the mangonel with one of these scouts. Otherwise, why would he have retreated? So he definitely saw the mangonel making its way over. The Scorpion's still alive. Where is it? It's up here to the north now. But I love this serpentine row of houses here that basically are keeping our Tatar safe and sound. Oh, a 3rd town center going up for him. By the way, did I catch the sheep? No, I did not. Ooh, look at this. This is very creepy. This is like those horror movies. I've been on a horror movie kick lately. It's you know, when you the protagonist, you know, goes down the creaky stairs to the basement. In the hallway, there's a person with their back turned to them, and then the movie becomes really suspenseful, and you don't know if they're going to turn around. There's going to be a jump scare or not. But that villager was just kind of hanging out there. Now, generally in an arena match, and I need to say this because I always say this when I watch arena now, it's 7-0. There's a standard meta that's followed, and it's usually a 3-part game. The first part of the game is both players rush their butts up to Castle Age. And the reason they do that in stage 1, because in stage 2, they train monks and supporting units like halberdiers, spearmen, scouts, pikemen, light cav, whatever, and they fight to the death over these relics. And then once all 5 relics are gathered, then we enter stage 3, where the players either build up massive Castle Age armies or more likely go up to Imperial, and then we get to see big battles. Arena, very much so. If you like big battles, a good guess, the odds are that you should probably watch an arena matchup as opposed to other maps, like open maps that can, as we've seen, the game can end after a few minutes. But on arena, I think you're more likely to see games extend a little bit longer, especially into Castle and Imperial Age. Just because, again, it's a map that lends itself to that 3-part meta. Now, JorDan has completely flipped the script here. He says, forget the relics. Or maybe he hasn't said forget the relics, because I see he's training a monk. So this might be JorDan's attempt to keep DracKeN pinned back in his base for as long as possible. But DracKeN knows, he suspects something is up. All of a sudden, your opponent is busted into your base. You see a lot of infrastructure, and what you don't see is any real concerted effort to push in. One mangonel is not really a big effort to bust into your base. That one mangonel, even to destroy a house, will take some time. So you must be suspicious as the purple Tatar here that something else is happening. Something's amiss. It looks like finally a kill here for JorDan, our Khmer, who manages to corner that scout with 2 of his own and gun him down, although these scouts are now light cab. And so if I'm DracKeN here, I suspect that something's rotten in the state of Arena Denmark here. And again, the game is glitching. I do apologize. I hope, let me know in the comments. Do you guys notice the glitches that I do? Is it something that's just my screen? Are you watching this and it's perfect and asking yourself, why the hell is the caster talking about glitches when my screen looks amazing? Now, I was about to say what DracKeN, if I was DracKeN, I would definitely, good attack round there. I would definitely be pushing out at this point and trying to get myself a few monks. Now, these light cav are going to have a fun time against these knights. The knights will be able to get the mangonel, I suspect. And a good number of light cav. Well, I don't see a single dead light cav anywhere. Oh, look at that. He vipers him in. DracKeN loses all 4 knights. But 3 more are already out. And let's see what can happen. But a monk for purple is out as well. The scorpion is still alive. The mangonel somewhere roaming this map is here. Right underneath my very nose. As more and more Tatar cavalry gets produced and houses are getting demolished. So JorDan looks like he's backing off. And okay, so he's gotten, I was gonna say, I'm looking at the minimap, I still see 4 relics. I was gonna say maybe I misjudged his intentions in terms of why he put on so much early game aggression and then with very little follow-up. And by the way, how cool is this that the villagers are inside the house? It's one of those bonuses that's just so unique, or features or bonuses. Well, what do we call them? Bonuses, features, characteristics. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's one of those that's just so ridiculously unique. Oh, the siege finally does fall, but it did put in the work. The one thing that you need to be careful of if you plan on doing this with the Khmer, when you garrison villagers in these houses, they do not heal up. If you garrison them inside a town center, a castle, whatever, then they heal. In a house, they do not, which is strange because you'd expect, you know, a little bit of bed rest, a good bowl of chicken noodle soup, some Tylenol, some Advil, depending on what hurts and where it hurts. Oh no. The avenue of attack that DracKeN used to push some of this back is now being used against them as 2 light cav stream in. They're going to get a good amount of vision on this base. We'll see how effective they actually are. Their HP is down half. And now JorDan's running home. Why is he retreating? Because their knights are already here. They are destroying everything. Where did this random monk think he was going? I believe he managed to get a conversion or 2 on the knights. But, oh man, wrong time, wrong place for that monk. And JorDan's push has been repelled, but he's looks like we'll have 3 relics to the 0 of DracKeN. And the Khmer, it's not a civilization you really want having 5 relics. You want to deny them as much gold as possible. They are one of these civs that just, they need resources. They are not, I always bring up this example as the Britons. The Britons are a civilization where you can go mass quantity for not very expensive. Their units are not, they're not free, they're not cheap, like for example Korean archer units. And why is he trying to save these villagers? What's the point of this? I guess the point is just to delay DracKeN as much as possible. But the Khmer, very much a civilization that needs resources. And so if you can get the relics out on the map, and here we go. Are you on patrol mode? Tell me you're on patrol mode with your 1 kill. Yes, you are. Unfortunately, 4 relics have already made their way back. Well, 3 for sure. Never mind. I think my mouse was covering it, like on the minimap, or I just didn't see. You guys know sometimes I miss things. Pobody's nerfed. Cav archers for our Tatar. He is getting fletching. He is getting bosa. He is getting wheelbarrow. No upgrades at the moment being researched for JorDan. What is he doing back home as his forward infrastructure gets cleaned up? Not much. He's building a bit of reinforcing infrastructure. Now, this is interesting. Usually in arena, when you need to construct houses or things like that, you do what DracKeN did. You kind of place them in a way that makes it easy to wall off if you ever get attacked. This doesn't look very easy to wall off to me, although I guess maybe you can plop a palisade or another house here in between these 2 houses. A very forward town center here, the 4th for our Tatar, 4 already up for our Khmer, who is going to have the first castle of the game. Very defensive. So JorDan's plan so far, I see a monk heading out. Oh my god. Oh, that's so sour. DracKeN realizes at the last minute. Will he pivot south? Why is he not pivoting south? He's seen the relic. So JorDan's going to have 4 relics to 1. The question is, was it worth the massive expenditure that he had to expend? Was it worth the cost is basically what I'm asking. I ask this on Arena a lot. When players invest significant resources into getting relics, Was it really worth all of the infrastructure, all of the dead units, all of the villagers that were pulled off in the earlier stages of the game? DracKeN is already headed up to Imperial. JorDan nowhere close. DracKeN ahead both in villager count and army count, although the lead is quite tiny. And the lead, okay, was okay, now it disappears. I was gonna say it was gonna disappear and then the villagers survived. Now it's 110 villagers apiece. Ooh, blue, 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 you're not noticing that there's a juicy relic monk here. What did blue put down here? That's hilarious. I mean, JorDan is just leaving little bits and pieces. This is like whenever you go to any country that has Roman ruins and you see like an amphitheater or a temple or, I don't know, a vomitorium that's, you know, 2,000 years old and dilapidated in the heat and that desert sun or in that European climate, that harsh European climate in some cases. That's what JorDan's leaving behind. A whole bunch of random shit here, which, by the way, gives him vision. Although I suspect once the mining camp goes down, that vision's going to be pretty damn weak and not impressive at all. We've got heavy camels for our Tatar. Yeah, now this is his vision. So it's good enough. He's going to see the camels. He's going to see the cav archers. He sees the university. More and more infrastructure here for DracKeN, who moves forward with a very aggressive castle, but there is an army already here, and we see ballista elephants. I absolutely love it. More ballista elephants, 5, 6 more on the production tab. He's going up to 11. Why the hell not? He's got 4 relics to 1. The longer he can schlep out this game, the better it's going to be for our Khmer in terms of relic gold, in terms of affordability of units. And the Tatars, without the high ground bonus, he's going to have to be very careful on the engagements he takes, because these cav archers are going to do very little to these ballista elephants that have 5 pierce armor against their 9 attack. And in addition to that, 270 HP. But the monk is out. The monk zones the elephant out, and the castle does not go up. It is canceled here. Decides to delete the ballista elephant, or did it die? I'm not too sure what happened to this particular one. Camel moves forward heavy. Camel rider. Let's take a look at the upgrades on these units. Our Tatar +1/+1 on his melee. Maxed out attack upgrades on his archer units with very little armor to back it up. DracKeN here is playing very, very conservative. I don't mind this playstyle at all. Your opponent is going with these big chunky units. The only asterisk when I say I don't mind it at all, oh my god, elite, is that when you see your opponent is massing quite possibly the hardest unit in the game to deal with head on without siege onagers, you don't want to really give them that much time. And so while I do love the conservative play out of him, he might want to put the pedal to the metal a little bit, get the gas rolling. We've got siege engineers, we've got elite, we've got conscription, we've got ballistics I just saw finished, we've got plate barding armor. Let's see this ballista elephant right now. What is it at? A +2 armor only, and now it is elite, 310 HP. But these camels are heavy. They do come with a good amount of bonus. +18 against cavalry. If only they came with any kind of siege bonus, then they would do even better. But no, cavalry is good enough. +18 attack. And oh man, there is double crossbow. And we are about to see 2 big fiery bolts fired from the top of that elephant's back. Looks like a villager bit the dust here behind the forest. Now, whereas DracKeN is playing incredibly conservative, JorDan is just gobbling up the resources on the map. And, okay, I'm going to have to amend what I said about liking the defensive, the conservative playstyle, though. We'll see. We'll see who actually wins the game. Always easy to talk when I'm not the one clicking the buttons. I'm not the one under pressure. Has he gotten any wind of anything that's happening here? No, he has not. He himself is getting Timorid Siegecraft, so his trebuchets are going to have +2 range right now. Although, wait a second. Now, one thing that I have realized in the past, and by the way, here are the 2 free sheep of that town center. is that when I see Timurid Siegecraft being researched, I have to ask myself, are there elephants? And oh my god, he's cutting through the forest. This is incredible. Purple blocks him in. Oh my god, he gets Viper, does JorDan, and I was literally about to say this. Boom goes the flaming camel. I always forget that Timurid Siegecraft also gives you access to the flaming camel, which is a much cooler version of the petard. And I should also point out that the ballista elephants are the only unit in Castle Age that can cut through a forest, because they can cut through forests, as we just saw. Which means that house, although I got super excited about it and it looked super duper freaking cool, didn't really stop these elephants from penetrating into the base. Now they are separating to small clumps, which means that these camels, if they can get there, can possibly destroy these ballista elephants. For now, we've got 2 camels poking in. They see even more. There's more flaming camels on the way. Let's take a look at their attack bonus against War Elephant. Plus 130, cavalry plus 50. So they're going to do 180 damage if they can close, I believe, or 180 bonus damage. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a death ball unit. This is not a put small clumps over here and then small clumps over their unit, especially not against lightning fast camels. And so I suspect this is going to get cleaned up very, very handily. Even more camels streaming up to help out. And yeah, I think JorDan made a very, very important error here when he carved up his elephants. I get what he was trying to do, to attack as many units in as many locations as possible. But ultimately, all that did was carve up a death ball into smaller death, I don't know what, pebbles? Death marbles? And allowed those camels to get a nice big surround. Very defensive castle. And that's now our Khmer, who is playing conservative. And the map has kind of calmed down. Light cavalry, blast furnace, siege engineers, silk armor. Okay, armor. all the boomy boys are coming in here. A few of them get a little lost on the way, decide, you know what, I'm not going to really close, so why waste? I'm going to zoom out because there's a conflict happening all over our screen right now. Ballista elephants are tearing into this army. This is a very interesting time for DracKeN to choose to become less conservative and place a castle here. Where are you going, camel, with a bunch of bales of flaming hay on you? You're going straight for the elephant. 2 of them fall. It is always so much fun to watch these in action. Oh, that was so sour. It got gunned down. That could have been a potentially massive, massive loss there for JorDan, who... Okay, there's 8 villagers left. It's at 86%, 87%. Oh my god. What is happening? Oh, he brings even more villagers. I mean, it's got to go up, right? 88%. He positions his ballista elephants. Bring the ones to the left forward if you want to stop the villagers. But where are the villagers going? Where are the villagers going? Why are the cav archers blocking their way? 88, 98, 99. 99.85%. Are you freaking kidding me? My body is literally tensed up right now. This is ridiculous. Does he have any more villagers to send? That is about as sour as you could possibly get. This is ridiculously sour. He is literally 1 hammer strike of any villager away from completing the castle. Oh my god. Oh, my hand is on my face like I'm a cartoon character. That's so freaking sour. Now, even if that castle would have gone up, dude, would it have made a difference? Look at the numbers. 34 army count to 5, 147 villagers to 105. But oh my god. You know what this is? This happened to me recently. You know what this is? This is you dumping $300 into a slot machine, finally getting a bonus with the last bet, the last spin you have, and then winning nothing on that bonus. That is what this is. This is the most sour possible thing that could have happened to our Tatar. Now, could he have microed his villagers a little better? Probably. There was one villager who went this way for some reason. I don't know why she did that. Then there were cav archers here blocking the way. He could have sent his villagers north and then west instead of directly into the ballista elephants. But holy shit, is this about as sour as you can get? I mean, tell me, am I wrong? That's literally one hammer strike away from completing the castle. 99.85%. Oh man, JorDan just falling apart. He's under siege to the north. He's under siege to the south, the center. There's nothing here. Okay, there's a bunch of sheep that I guess he sent forward that our Khmer took one of. And this is, there you go. Do you see a mill? Do you see a town center? No, you don't, because they don't need it. And he is pumping out 80 villagers on food, makes the Khmer's Hussar spam one of the most deadly spams in the game. And wow, I mean, forget the Hussars. Who cares about the Hussars? Talk to me about the Ballista Elephant, baby. What a fantastic unit. 49 kills. Not a surprise. Now, I thought JorDan was doing a pretty damn good job. He managed to clear out this incursion to the south of his base. I mean, first of all, from the beginning, he managed to clear up this. And that just gave JorDan the, again, I let me know what you think. I always put this to you, the viewer. I mean, my opinion, I've never pretended to be an expert or anything like that. I just really enjoy the game. And so I sometimes I talk out of my ass. Sometimes I say things incorrectly, as I'm sure you guys are well aware if you've seen my casts. But was that JorDan's game plan? Did he really have no follow-up to this? Because he built this infrastructure here, the archery range, the stable, the siege workshop, whatever else he built here, the tower. And then ultimately, after his archers and scouts died here, didn't really push in very hard, except for that one mangonel. So that tells me that he pushed in expecting to do some damage. And believe me, if he managed to do damage, he would have kept pushing, but he didn't find any damage. And so I guess he kind of he threw his hands up and went, all right, I tried. Might as well just go up to Castle Age and try to gobble up all the relics on the map, and gobble them up. He did 4 relics to 1. Is that an accurate guess as to what happened? Because obviously we can't really know what happened. I don't have the Professor X's ability to go into JorDan's brain or mind and see exactly what he was thinking, but I suspect that's what happened. 87 Ballista Elephants, 66 Heavy Camel Riders, and yeah, for the majority of the game, they were heavy. 158 PKPM, where towards the end of the game, 120, right at the beginning of the game, JorDan furiously clicking, queuing villagers, exploring the map. Economy, wow, look how similar the economy, less than 1,000. That's like a 1.5% difference in economy only. A lot more wood for our Tatar, a lot less of everything else for our Tatar. Conversions 3 out of 145, not really playing a role. I am glad we got to see the unique technologies though. Here's Timuri's Siegecraft, which gave him those flaming camels, silk armor, which could put, I wonder why he went silk armor, right? I mean, the cav archers, at that point, did he really have cav archers? I want to go back at the 45-31 minute mark and see what he had. And double crossbow we saw. Let's take a look at kill count and then go to 45-31. So our Khmer with the units that can survive a lot longer, I guess another word for saying that is tankier units, with their massive HP and damage output and crazy pierce armor, just survived much longer, got more kills. And so JorDan with basically, what is that, almost 80 more kills and about 66 villagers killed more. I should say that's not a proper sentence. 66 more villagers killed than his opponent. But I really do want to go. I want to go to 45-31 and see what his army composition, because I wasn't expecting silk armor. Yeah, he's got 5 cav archers. Okay, I guess the light cavalry. Get the benefit of silk armor, but definitely not camels. So an interesting game here out of both players. I mean, I just love the push from JorDan, assuming I'm right about his intentions. I love the defense here out of our Tatar. Let this be a classic example of a game you should review if you're playing on Arena and you're finding yourself under attack, because there's a lot of D-bags on Arena, let's put it like that, and they just enjoy attack, and then of course the second they don't win within a minute, they GG, or they just I don't know, disconnect and be dicks about it. But this is a good game to study if you want to see how exactly to hold back a push, because it was a pretty tough push. Who's kidding who? The mistake that JorDan made was sending in his archers to die to try to lame the gold that was here, when I think he probably would have been better served laming the lumberjacks that were up here to the north. But hindsight's 2020, and not going to critique, especially not in a game where we got to see, oh, look how wrinkly and delicious these elephant butts are. And wow, what a game it was. Let's go all the way back to the end here and make sure we end on the proper screen. And wow, just a fantastic game out of both players. But the star of the show, the negative MVP, or I guess LVP, the least valuable, would be this. I really want to swear so bad. This effing castle with its 99.85 completion. And again, I don't know if this castle had even gone up, if DracKeN would have been able to continue playing here. Again, look at the numbers. He's down significantly. His score, he's down about 20%. But how sad this, we've spoken a lot about things that are demoralizing to players. We saw the Viper bust into Mr. Yo's base. Mr. Yo bust into the Viper's base recently, and I suspect it was just a demoralization that made the Viper tap out. And this is demoralizing. You send one wave of villagers, it gets the castle to the high 80s. Then you send a second wave, they all die, and the castle is literally one hammer strike away from being completed. And that is just incredibly sour. Incredibly sour. And unfortunately, because of that, I suspect that plus the fact that he's being attacked to the north as well, and his resources are pretty decent. He's got the infrastructure. He's got 7 archery ranges, although not too sure what he's going to do with archery ranges against ballista elephants. I mean, maybe elite skirmishers to soften him up a little bit while your camels do the rest. I don't know. Or maybe you go flaming camels. How many could he have afforded? Less than 10. Fewer than 10. Sorry, not less than 10. Fewer than 10. Right? They cost 75 food, and he's got 686. So, DracKeN, I mean, 9 or 8 flaming camels are not bad. Especially, look at these units loving to clump up. Oh, there's one heavy camel rider in here. Okay, the John McClane camel rider who's trying to take on the world on his own. In any event, it is our Khmer in blue JorDan, who with the fancy maneuvering and the chunky, crazy follow-up and the denial of quite possibly one of the most sour, if not the sourest castle I have seen to date, who takes the W, but GG in a super fun game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.